What's good, y'all? So far throughout this season, there have been a bunch of teams that are surprising everyone. Some for the positive, some for the negative. The Bucks are surprising people because they're not that good, at least yet. The Cavs also, they're pretty low in the standings out east. But then there's the teams that are surprising us, like the Rockets, who are above 500 right now at the time of me recording this video. But the number one team that has surprised me the most is the Philadelphia 76ers. If you guys remember back when I did my Eastern Conference standings predictions, I had the 76ers at about the 5th seed. I thought that the James Harden situation was giving a lot of baggage over them, bringing like this whole big cloud over their team, and that they were going to fall in the standings. Right now, they are the number one seed out east with a record of 6-1. At the time of me recording this video, they have not played their in-season tournament game against the Pistons. When you guys see this, they already would have, so I mean, they could be even better than what I'm talking about in this video. Now, there are a bunch of different reasons on why Philly is looking so good this year, but the one that I want to start by talking about is Joel Embiid. I don't know if this is a hot take considering he just won MVP last season, but so far, this is the best Joel Embiid has ever looked in his career. I do want to give a little bit of the credit to Nick Nurse, the new head coach of the 76ers, because he has really just transformed this Philly offense into something that we've never seen happen. They're running a lot more of the offense through Joel Embiid. They don't just give him the ball and like kind of ISO and look to score like in years past. They're actually looking for him to play make. They're looking for him to run, different plays around him, like dribble handoffs. They're running a lot of those this year to start. And Joel is succeeding in these opportunities. The dribble handoffs, I mean, it's pretty simple. You just kind of hand the ball off, set the screen. Joel is one of the biggest bodies in the entire NBA, so getting through those screens is going to be tough. And then you just roll hard or let your, player do their thing. His passing out of double teams is looking very fluid as well. He recognizes where the double's coming from, processes it real quick, figures out where the ball needs to go, and delivers the pass. That's another big reason on why he's averaging a career high in assists this season. But even with this elevated playmaking responsibility and, having to get his teammates all involved, he is still dominating scoring-wise, leading the league in scoring so far. This would be the third season in a row if he does do it for the entire season. And he's doing this scoring super efficient as well. 54% from the field, 40% from three, and 80% from the free throw line. His finishing is incredible as always. 7'1", super strong body. He will dunk on you. He will back you down, hit you with a post hook. He can finish in all different ways. His mid-range is looking incredible this season. He always likes to take kind of those post up, maybe even face up, and just take those mid-ranges. They're knocking them down at an incredible level this so far. And then even the three-point line, I already mentioned, he's shooting 40% from three. And it's on a pretty decent volume, too. I don't remember the exact number right now, but I know it's at least like 4 or 5 a game. I know the narrative around his last MVP was the fact that the league was just kind of like, here, take it, whatever. And then it also didn't help that Nikola Jokic ended up going on to win Finals MVP and lead his team to the championship. But if you put all that behind you, Joel Embiid is looking like a prime candidate to win back-to-back MVPs. Don't get me wrong though, Joel is not doing this all by himself in Philly. Tyrese Maxey is also stepping up incredibly. In case you guys didn't see in my awards predictions, I had him in second of most improved. We're not going to talk about who I had first, but I still had him on my short list though, and right now it's looking like he might be the winner. With Tyrese having an increased role on offense, there's no James Harden. He's really taking on that second option role fully. He's averaging a career high in points per game, rebounds per game, assists per game, steals per game, blocks per game. His free throws are up. His free throw percentage is up. His field goal percentage and three-point percentage isn't a career high, but it's about equivalent to what it was last year, and it was incredible. And most importantly, he's only averaging barely over 1 turnover per game. Tyrese is really showing why he is the perfect pairing to put alongside Joel Embiid. He is able to play off the ball when Joel is, he's an MVP candidate. He's going to have the ball in his hands a lot. He's able to do these catch and shoot things, the connective passing. He's a very aware player, high IQ player, the cuts and everything. He's able to produce for himself and his team while playing off the ball. But then he can also play that on-ball role when Joel needs a rest or he's on the bench or he just needs something else going from the perimeter. Not only play on the ball, though, he's also able to switch up the pace for the 76ers. The 76ers and Joel Embiid have always been a slow-paced team because Joel is a post player. You know, you have to set up in the post, get him the ball, then he goes to work. When it comes to James Harden, when he played with Embiid though, James Harden was a very slow player as well. A lot of ISO, you know, pick and rolls, dribble, like you normally know James Harden to be. So I really like the dynamic of Tyrese able to kind of just switch the whole offense up. And so far, Maxey is doing an incredible job replacing the production that James Harden brought to the 76ers. His offensive scoring-wise, he loves getting to his floater, getting right into the paint. He's not the biggest guy, so he gets right up there and just floats it right up. Reminds me a lot of his college teammate Emmanuel Quickly in that. He's also an incredibly high volume shooter and a great efficiency while doing it as well. I kind of mentioned it too before, where he's playing off ball. He can do the catch and shoot threes, but he can also create his own shot off the dribble. It's just really dynamic player to have in this offense. They allow Maxey to kind of really flourish on his own and run the whole second unit when Embiid takes his rest after the first quarter. And his play right now, if he can keep this up, it's making the James Harden trade look 1,000 times better. Another big reason for Philly's success is the production that they're getting from their wings. They have 4 players on their team right now averaging over 17 points per game. Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, Tobias Harris, and Kelly Oubre. When it comes to Tobias and Kelly, both players had incredible seasons last year, but they're even taking it a step forward and becoming even better this year. And they also both are getting their offense super efficiently and just kind of in rhythm with the offense, how it runs. They're not really doing any ISOs or any like, you know, this is you, get a bucket type of thing. But they're getting it on cuts, they're getting it on catch and shoot, you know, just kind of taking advantage of the opportunities that they're given, and they are doing that for sure. Tobias Harris is shooting 70% from two-point range this season, and that's incredible on its own, but even it goes up another level when you realize how much of, you know, the mid-range he operates in. He loves to take his mid-range shots, and to be shooting 70% on all two-pointers, that's incredible. It's a big reason on why he's shooting 60% from the field in total. And then Kelly Oubre, he was shooting 50% from the field for the first time in his career at about 52%. He's shooting 40% from 3 for the first time in his career at about 41%. And he is competing incredibly on defense for them, really becoming one of their best wing defenders out there in Philly. And I cannot stress this enough. Philly got him for a minimum. He's getting paid $2 million right now. It literally blows my mind. He should be making at least $15 million. I do also want to give a shout out to De'Anthony Melton and the defense that he's bringing to this team. I really like his pairing with Tyrese Maxey in the backcourt. Kind of, you know, you get the offense and the spark from Tyrese, but then you get the defense from De'Anthony Melton. Furkan Korkmaz has been playing great off their bench in the limited minutes that he's gotten, even though he's requested to be out of Philly about 17 times already. He's still hooping there, and he's doing it well. Also, Nick Batum and Robert Covington, we haven't seen too much of them yet since they just came over in the trade. But both of them look pretty decent, I would say. At least decent enough to, you know, give Philly some type of production off their bench at that wing position. And then last but not least, I kind of alluded to it a little bit when talking about Joel Embiid, but Nick Nurse, shout out to Nick Nurse, man. He's really changed the whole feel of Philly for the first time in a while. You know, for a long time, I kind of dreaded watching Philly games because it was so slow-paced. You know, it would be so free-throw-oriented with James Harden and Joel Embiid on the team. It just wasn't a fun viewing experience for me. But so far this season, they have been really enjoyable to watch. You know, they're one of the top teams out east. I'm excited to see how, you know, this offense can evolve. Maybe even, you know, 20 games down the line, 30, 40, 50 by the end of the year in the playoffs. You know, right now, Philly has a whole different type of electricity to it right now, if you want to say. And they're doing their thing. Hopefully they continue that going forward. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave it a like, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. In the description, there's links to all my social medias, so make sure you follow me on all those to keep up to date with me. Catch ya.